Raised in a lush suburb of 1920s Paris, Noor Inayat Khan was an introspective musician and writer, dedicated to her family and her father's spiritual values of beauty and tolerance. She did not seem destined for wartime heroism, yet faced with the evils of Nazi violence and German occupation of France, Noor joined the British Special Operations Executive and trained in espionage, sabotage and reconnaissance. Good day readers and listeners, and welcome to another episode of Tom's Rapid Reviews, where each week we take a few minutes to read out a book review written by one of our fabulous Surrey Library staff. I give a bit of background and context surrounding the book and its author, and it's all done in the hope that you might be inspired to try reading or listening to something new. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Codename Madeleine, a Sufi spy in Nazi-occupied Paris. Codename Madeleine is a non-fiction book following a remarkable story of the most unlikely spy I, for one, have ever heard of. As the blurb I read tells us, Noor Inayat Khan was the daughter of a Sufi mystic, a princess, and a dedicated pacifist. But in the face of the Nazis, she felt compelled to join the war effort as a spy, and this book follows her journey, her successes and challenges in opposing the Nazi war machine in Paris, where at times she was working alone to keep the Paris cell alive, against the advice of her superiors. This book is another one from me. It caught my eye when I spotted my mum reading it. So, let's see what I had to say. Codename Madeleine is one of those stranger than fiction true stories. It seems absolutely extraordinary that the story of this woman isn't more widely known. It would make a fantastic film. Though the narrative itself is as colourful as they come, the writing can be a little dry in places. That said, Arthur J. Magida has done a good job piecing together an account of Madeleine's real name, Noor Inayat Khan, life, especially given its necessary secrecy. Of interest to history buffs, fans of Ben Macintyre, or anyone in need of a story of courage, this is well worth a read if your interest is even a little piqued at what you've heard. This one is a tough one to assign a score to. Purely from a readability standpoint, I want to give it a 3 out of 5. But the events and life of the woman are so fascinating that I want to give it a sort of 4 out of 5. So, in a spirit of compromise, Tom's Rapid Reviews will give this book 4 out of 5. So what then can I recommend as contemporaneous to this tale? Well, as I mentioned in my review, it's quite similar to the works of Ben Macintyre. So let's start there. Macintyre writes largely about espionage during the World Wars, and does so in a particularly engaging, narrative-driven way. He's essentially a pioneer of the subgenre of history writing which I would characterise Codename Madeleine as being a part of, and has achieved significant acclaim and readership. His most recent book, Agent Sonia, Lover, Mother, Soldier, Spy, is available in libraries and follows the story of a committed communist and colonel of the Soviet Union who infiltrated Britain as an apparent housewife to steal nuclear secrets. My other suggestion more broadly is spy fiction. If you like the true stories of secret agents, you might well enjoy the exploits of fictional ones too. These come largely in two flavours, the bombastic and the more down-to-earth and realistic. These two approaches are probably best encapsulated by Ian Fleming, writer of James Bond books, and by John le Carre, famous for Tinker Sailor Soldier Spy, which Agent Sonia's title clearly riffs on, The Night Manager, and more. Both authors and their contemporaries have plenty of material, both physically and digitally, available through Surrey Libraries. So then, there's hope for all of us to dip into the fantastic world of international espionage. But that's all today from Tom's Rapid Reviews. If you've enjoyed this video, please do consider liking it and subscribing to the Surrey Libraries channel. For now though, stay safe, come in from the cold, borrow books, and we'll see you next time for more of Tom's Rapid Reviews.